Yeah, my flex
Nice.
is given the indie experiences.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
used to call it a full spectrum.
Yeah.
Whereas
Cool.
like they'll come in and they'll be like, all right, I want to get a koi fish on my arm.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I don't like the design or I think it will look shit, I'll tell them, all right, we're not doing that. Like just straight up, that's not happening.
Just give me a little what's up.
What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
Cool. Indy,
Hello.
welcome, man. Really appreciate you coming today.
Thank you for having me.
No
Good to
worries,
have
man.
you. I feel like you're like my little brother or something. And I know I keep saying to you, like, you need to marry into the family. And I feel like hopefully I just keep praying and like hopefully it's going to happen one
Yeah,
day.
one day. Maybe,
Yeah.
who knows?
Never say
Who knows?
never.
Maybe.
Because you're pretty good friends with my sister, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that sort of come about?
I don't know, just through mutual friends.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. like,
She's sort of like all around the areas, so
Yeah, she's everywhere.
yeah. Every time I tattoo someone that's like 20, I'm like, do you know Emmy? And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I
but
think like we knew of each other for a long time beforehand.
Yeah.
It's like a few of my mates from like back in the day were mates with
Yeah.
her, stuff
Yeah.
like that. But never really met until like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
around that, 2 years ago.
Yeah. You guys get along, it
Yeah.
seems,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
from
feel
the
like they're-
socials.
She's dope. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they're close. Like every time I talk about you, she's like, "Oh, Indi," and then I'll be like to
Yeah.
her, "Come on."
Do you tell her tattoo advice?
Not really.
No.
No, the only thing I've ever said to her is like, you and me should like collab on something on it.
Yeah.
That'd be so
that'd be cool.
cool.
Because she's got like some questionable tattoos on there.
I haven't
And it's
actually like inspected her tattoos.
Yeah,
I've seen,
it
like,
was
ones
just
on her
her
arm
just
and
being
stuff,
like just going for it sort of thing,
Yeah.
and I'm like, just ask me like for advice. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to do the tattoo, but like, just I've got the best advice anyone can give you.
Yeah. Has
You
she
know?
gotten tattoos off many other people? Apart from you?
She got one at the Alley Cats.
Or in
You know that one in
Frankston?
Frankston?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
still there?
Oh, probably.
Last I heard, it was like semi-open. Like the dude only opened like one a day.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
day
He's,
a week
he's been
kind of
around
thing.
forever. And
Yeah.
he doesn't care about tattooing anymore.
Yeah, I think he just does it when he wants. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're open, sometimes they're not. It's
Yeah.
just luck of the draw.
Yeah, it's like a pretty dingy looking shop too.
Yeah, it's like one of the back streets kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
News
Alley.
station. Yeah, it's Alley Cats.
Alley Cats.
For sure.
But one thing I want to ask you, because it's like my dream,
Yeah.
growing up like in the skate shop and all
Yeah.
that, like the
Yes.
scene, like how
Yeah.
was that, man?
We're so envious.
And it was cool, but you know, when I was younger, it was always like, oh, you need to start skating, do this,
Yeah, yeah.
do that. I just never really got into the skating part. I was
Yeah.
always more interested in like the artwork on like the
Yeah.
old '90s designs and like
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Do you reckon because you were like in it all the time, you weren't
Yeah,
too keen on starting to skate?
yeah, it was like kind of like I tried. Like I've had like little sessions for like
Yeah.
over COVID, like
Yeah.
lockdown. All we'd do was go to the skate park and just get pissed and like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
all right, I'll
I can
skate.
do this.
I can
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
I can
yeah.
do it. But yeah, and I'm not that good at it either. I
Yeah.
can skate, but like I'm not like something special enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
Yeah.
that's still cool that you took something from that environment. Like you liked
Yeah.
the artwork and you could appreciate it. You just knew that that wasn't your strength, which I think is pretty
Yeah.
good too.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like
And
a
the
lot
clothing, like how was
of
that?
the clothing's sick. That's one of the good bonuses.
I'm
yeah.
so jealous.
Do you like
Yeah.
cop some free shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's good. Like
Yeah.
especially growing up, everyone kind of wants to like make my dad happy. So like
Yeah.
these brands would come in with like the new range for like next year or like 6 months away,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like little me would be like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, oh, here you go. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Just
So
like take
how
it.
long has that shop been around for? Because I've known it for being like quite a long time.
I think we're coming up to 11 or 12 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we had 10 years a year or
Yeah.
two ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like 20 now or 21?
I'm 20. Just
Yeah.
turned 20 the other month.
Baby.
Yeah. So you were like
Yeah,
real
I'm
small when it started.
Yeah, it would have been like 9 or 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is your old man and your mum as well?
Yeah, both
Yeah.
of them. Yeah. So
Yeah, cool.
My dad got into it when he was like, him and his younger, like older brother, always skating like when they were younger and stuff,
Yeah.
out in Sydney and stuff. But then he started collecting boards all of a sudden, spending bank on that,
Yeah.
and then it's like, fuck, I love it again. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of made up his own shop and
Yeah,
just kind of
cool.
stemmed
Yeah,
from
yeah.
that.
So it sort of sparked like his
yeah.
love for it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I think the actual initial thing that got him back into it was we went to Fast Times when I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I want to get you like your first board kind of thing. And then the service just was shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fast Times, but yeah.
It is what it is, man. Customer
yeah.
care is like the
yeah,
biggest
literally.
thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then he was like, oh, I could do this so much better.
Yeah.
So he fucking went and did it
Yeah,
so
yeah,
much
yeah.
better. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
it's a good way.
So
to do
is
it.
he originally from Sydney?
Nah, he did grow up here, but he's
Yeah.
moved around a fair bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was in Sydney for a few years, fucking like Queensland, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nice.
Sort of back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And just skating the whole time or
Oh, I think
just doing?
just
doing it.
kid shit. You know?
Yeah.
Just running amok.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you were pretty young, like when they were doing all that stuff. Like, were you like fully in the scene and all that kind of thing? Like,
yeah, growing up, I was always around like skaters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I remember being in an ad that was on like, I don't know, 9 News or like
Oh, yeah.
one of those things for like OCD, and it was like,
Yeah.
That's so cool.
like I didn't skate, but I'm just sitting there on like
Yeah.
these steps with like
Yeah.
a skateboard and a beanie
Yeah.
and shit on. I'm like
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
10 years old.
You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
bring in some photos or send us photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the ad's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
tattooed the
Cool.
dude who filmed it like a few
Oh,
months
really?
ago. Like I didn't even know it was him. And he's like, oh, I remember you, and I'm like, oh shit, hi, what's
that's
up?
so weird.
Yeah, it was so
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it was
sick.
though.
And so you live in Morty as well, obviously.
Yeah. Grew up like Frankston, Carrum Downs, like the
Yeah.
Warren area, but
Yeah.
yeah, moved up. I think maybe 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Up Morty.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the skate like artwork, is that what sort of interests you into tattooing and that, or
I reckon
what sort
that
of interests
faded.
you into like starting a career in tattooing?
Fuck, I don't even know. I just got drunk one night, stole my dad's tattoo machine that he bought when he was drunk one night.
Yeah.
And I just
Oh,
got
that's
tattooed
so
my mates
good.
just in
Yeah.
the shed at the warehouse.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, we had like a
Nice.
skate ramp, if you've seen it, the mini ramp in the
I think
warehouse.
I've seen photos before.
Yeah,
It's pretty
show me
cool.
photos. I feel like I've seen nothing. I need to see.
Yeah, no, we call it Noah's Ark because like the shape of it's like a boat kind of.
Yeah.
It's like pretty sick.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's like a little thing where the offices are, but we built like this spot on the roof.
yeah,
So we just kind of like set up a couch, a TV. I like my
Yeah,
little
yeah,
tattoos
yeah.
fucking set up. Like,
Yeah.
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 What was
that's
the
cool.
first tattoo you did?
The first tattoo I did was Earth on the inside of my mate's finger.
Cool.
And then later that night, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I get a call from him, and he's at like a family party. He's like, everyone here wants to get a matching tattoo with me. I'm just like,
Wow.
fuck, let's do it.
Yeah,
Pick me
yeah.
up. I'll be
Nice.
there.
Yeah.
And I was very drunk.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're not good.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
very much not good.
I mean, that's like the worst spot to do a tattoo anyway.
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
hand.
I'd
Drunk
drop
or
out.
not.
Yeah,
Like it's probably good to get it drunk,
yeah. But like, fuck.
and they're probably not there anymore, are they?
Oh, I think one of them are. One of
Yeah.
them stayed in. The rest
Yeah.
of them kind of dropped out.
Yeah.
I touched up one of them, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're all
So when you got all your dad's tattoo stuff, did you like just wing setting up or like?
yeah, not a single video, nothing.
Yeah.
I just can't. I hate that instruction shit. I was like,
Yeah,
alright.
yeah.
It's because it was a coil machine, like a shitty eBay coil
Yeah,
machine. I'm
yeah.
like, alright, this looks like it goes there. Fucking
Yeah.
Just playing around with it.
Was the
till I-
needle like the right way?
Yeah, the needle was the right way,
Yeah.
but then I had to figure out like faults and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
the fucking armature bar was like all cooked.
Yeah.
So it was just
Yeah.
It
Just a
was-
mess, just a
it was
hot mess.
For my first like 3 months, probably I had the needle upside down.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wait,
It was
tattooing
like
people?
facing the other way.
Yeah.
So the soldering was down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then I tattooed like one of the guys at work, and he's like, "Do you always set your needles up like that?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's upside down, man." I'm like, "Oh shit." So you do pretty good tattoos for an upside down needle.
Yeah. That's
Does it
alright.
actually matter? Like, does it affect anything?
Oh, it'll flow nicer
Fluctuation, yeah.
into the tube. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the actual needle kind of goes like
Yeah.
smacked down.
Yeah.
Like that's the way the armature bar works. Just fucking. So then, yeah, if it's the wrong way, it's just kind of like we almost bend in on each other.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why he
100%.
was like, "What the fuck?" Like, you've
Yeah.
been tattooing like the whole time. I'm like, "Yeah."
It works. It works. It works.
Well, yeah.
you
Like,
go.
and to be honest, I couldn't tell the difference when I flipped it the right way anyway.
Yeah.
So when you first start, you don't know what's right, know what's wrong, what needles are good, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Just personal preference.
yeah. So then you just tattooed on the mezzanine until you got into a shop, or like how did that sort of go?
Well, I was kind of like doing it every single day for like 2 or 3 months, like literally every day.
Yeah.
Like I was like getting paid for it. I just loved doing it. So I was like, who wants a tattoo?
Yeah.
Come over, let's do a tattoo.
Cool.
And I was kind of like, fucking love it. Like, I want to give it a crack. So I hit up a few shops, and then shop in Frankston, Inkwells. Was like, all right, come in, have a chat.
Yeah.
And I feel like I got to a certain level, like just when I was tattooing just by myself, that some of my lines were like getting pretty clean to an extent. And then when they called me up, they were like, oh, like, Dick doesn't really say this much, but like, your client's clean, he can work with you. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll pop in, have a
Wow.
chat.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, first day in there, I'm tattooing.
Yeah.
And,
Cool.
Yeah, just
That's so good.
happened.
So how was
Yeah.
that like? The feeling of tattooing in an actual shop.
It was different.
Yeah.
It was
Were you like
different.
nervous and?
Nah, I've honestly never been nervous for a tattoo ever.
Yeah.
Really?
Like
That's
ever.
so good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be shitting myself.
Yeah, like that whole thing of like scared you're gonna blood or like fuck up a tattoo. I've just never had that. I just,
Yeah. I definitely had that.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah.
put the stencil and I go out the back and scar water because I'd be sweating.
Really?
Yeah, it was bad.
Wait, this is
Then I
at the
can't-
start, yeah? Not now? Or still
No,
now?
at the start,
Okay,
yeah.
I
And
was
then I
gonna
come
say-
back and I'm like, oh man, just all good to go. Then I'll do a few lines, and then like something would smudge, and I'll be like sweating again, like the stencil disappearing and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got hella nervous.
I reckon I've been nervous once, like when stencils started disappearing.
Yeah.
But
Shit. Did you just wing it, or did you?
oh yeah, just completely.
Yeah.
wing it.
Yeah, you kind of like got to fake it till you make it. Eh?
Oh, you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I reckon my fourth ever tattoo, I was meant to tattoo that.
Yeah.
My mate, like an OCD sticker.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, it's like a Tom Penny flipboard.
I was gonna say it looks like very like Tom Penny flipboard and shit.
Yeah, so it was like a top graphic for one of his old boards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was meant to do that with my mate, and the stencil just didn't stay. First wipe, just
Oh really?
first wipe gone.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did one line, first wipe, just whole thing's gone.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm like, didn't have any Sharpies or anything. It was just all right. I got a tattoo needle. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Did not end up good. Like I said, I was very drunk the first
Yeah,
time I was
yeah,
tattooing,
yeah.
so
Yeah, yeah.
it just can't have happened.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Well,
It's
I
fun.
admire your courage and your confidence because I reckon we could all use some.
Yeah, maybe it's the alcohol.
Maybe.
Alcohol definitely helped.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
helped.
And how long were you at Inkwells for?
Maybe 4 or 5 months, I reckon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
there for a little bit, and then moved to Full Spectrum, and I was there for maybe 8 months.
Yeah.
I'd say. So
Yeah.
I've been tattooing for like a year and a bit.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you haven't been tattooing for long. Yeah.
not for long.
It's
And, like,
so
not the traditional way
admirable
either.
because
Yeah, it's
also
fun, though.
too, like you've got a massive following.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I just got lucky.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
but I
It's one
think
of
there's
those
something
things.
special about you. Like you saying that you don't feel that like you're like, all right, I know how to tattoo and I
Yeah.
can tattoo and I just run with it. Like that's admirable. And then people are just like maybe naturally gravitate to you because your work's
Hopefully.
amazing.
No, thank you. Thank you.
So that's pretty impressive. Just under 2 years.
I've been tattooing for probably a year and 3 or 4 months.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like you've been in the
Yeah.
industry forever. Like I know you're still like young, but
Yeah.
when I'm talking to you and seeing your work and seeing you at the expos and like just seeing you online, I'm like, he's been in this forever. Like
Were you doing the right things to like
Yeah.
get out there?
Yeah, for
Crazy.
sure.
And the expos and that, they're definitely the way to go, I reckon.
yeah, they definitely do help. Like,
Like, do you reckon the Inked Expo we just did, like, helped you out a bit, or?
yeah, definitely. Like, I reckon every expo helps because, like,
Yeah.
I don't look at it as like going there like for a cash grab, which sometimes it is good for a cash grab if you need some extra coin. Like, it's a very busy place to tattoo.
Yeah.
But I reckon like the social networking part of it is the best. Like,
Yeah, we feel
meeting
the
other
same way.
artists.
Like,
Yeah.
with the Inked Expo, she was a social butterfly. She
Yeah.
knew everyone by the end of it.
I was in
fuck
my
yeah.
element.
Yeah, and like you do got to put a bit of money up front, like
Yeah.
so you're not always making money out of it, but it's like you said, what do you get out of it socially, connections and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's worth more than like if you're focused there just to tattoo the whole time and like try and make as much money as humanly possible.
Yeah,
Then like really you're coming out of it at a loss.
yeah,
Because like the amount of money and the amount of like benefits you can get from even just networking with people and like
Yeah.
So true.
partnering up in the future and stuff like that, like those endeavors and the chances of that to happen
Yeah.
are worth way more than like
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
definitely. And that's something that we said, like coming out of that, I was like, I literally could do that for a living. Like
yeah.
I could just go around, come back, home base, then, you know, next 2 weeks go and do an expo because like some of those connections, like we wouldn't have ever made in real
Yeah,
life.
exactly.
So,
and there's something cool about like being somewhere like completely different
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
around people that are like-minded as well.
so many creatives.
Like in normal day to day, we can feel pretty like outcast. Then you go to somewhere like that, and you're like, you feel so normal.
Yeah, like this is my
Yeah.
people. Like it
Yeah,
was cool.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely do get that. Like
Yeah.
walking around, seeing everyone like all the face tats, like getting the like eyeballs tattooed and stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
dead cherub and stuff like.
Yeah, it makes you feel like so not tattooed
Yeah. Oh,
at a
fuck
at
yeah.
expo.
Yeah.
So fuck, I need to
Yeah.
get more tattoos.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I've been looking at you. I'm like sussing your neck, sussing your
Yeah,
arms
I've
and
got a few.
stuff.
Slowly getting there, but
So who does most of yours? Just
um,
like mates and stuff at work? Or?
yeah, usually just mates. Like
Yeah.
for the most part, I think my mate Mitch, me and Mitch have been tattooing each other for a
Yeah.
few months now, just back
Yeah.
and forth. Like
Love
we set up a
Mitch.
day and just smash out as much as we can.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
have you tattooed yourself?
Yeah, on my thighs.
Oh.
They're not good. They're fucked.
Yeah, were they like your first ones?
Yeah, I'd say first like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
First 2 weeks.
Wow.
That was shocking.
What
Yeah,
did you
yeah.
choose to tattoo?
Fuck, a few interesting ones.
I was gonna say usually
Yeah.
they're pretty interesting.
There's like a face that's like being broken with like ghosts coming out of it. There's like an eyeball, and there's like just some weird quotes like, I think got like fucking apology. I'm not sorry for anything.
Yeah,
Nice.
Like just shit like that.
Yeah,
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
which is fun to do. So
yeah.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, tattooing yourself was weird. I did it the other week, but I used numbing cream because
It
I wanted to
sucks.
like
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to test out how people feel and stuff like that. I couldn't feel shit.
Yeah. I've used it once on like the bottom half of this tattoo.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't even know he started.
Yeah.
When my mate was tattooing
Wow.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I knew I'd started because I was doing it to myself.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is so. It was like I was tattooing someone else, but it was myself. And
Yeah,
it was
it's
just weird.
It's so
So weird.
I've never
Yeah.
used it. I feel like I don't know if I will use it.
I'd only
guess-
ever use it again on my ribs
Yeah.
because
true.
I'd like to get like big pieces, so like
Yeah,
full
ribs
days and
suck.
stuff. And I've done one rib and I got one rib left, and I'm like, I
Don't
don't know
go
if I can
through
do that
again.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, ribs suck.
they're so bad.
What
You got
side
your
do you have?
ribs?
Do you have your heart side done or?
I've got that side.
Yeah, so the other side. Yeah.
So one side of your body does hurt more than the other, and I always forget which one it is.
I'm pretty sure it's the side of your heart.
Left.
Yeah, your left.
So yeah, that's the side that's
Oi,
empty.
oi, oi. That's
So,
probably
yeah.
where all like the everything runs
I'll be
down
numbing it
to.
up. Yeah, and that's like my theory of like healing tattoos. The further it is from your heart, the longer it takes to heal.
Yeah.
Like your ankles
'Cause
and
you're getting
stuff, they
less blood
take
to
like
it.
4 weeks sometimes.
Because you're getting less blood to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
But if you get your chest tattoo, it heals in like a day.
Yeah.
Like not a day, but
Yeah,
like, you know, it's
pretty
quick
fucking
as.
Super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
my neck even healed pretty quick.
Yeah.
Is that new? Did I?
Maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Nice.
bit over a month ago.
How was
And
the
they don't really
pain?
scab too much, yeah? Like,
Oh, I scabbed a little bit, but yeah,
Yeah.
not much at all. Even that
Yeah.
one wasn't much. Like Mitch did both of these, and
Yeah.
like this one was walk in the park. Fucking don't know why, it was just easy as.
yeah.
This side of the front was sweet.
Spicy.
It was all good.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
I could do that all day. But
'Cause
this
that's
side, for some
such a
fucking reason, this
vulnerable
side was
spot.
caning.
Yeah, weird.
It caned.
I had like big script across here that I got lasered like years ago.
Yeah.
Then I tattooed that over it, and it was so painful.
Was it? Yeah.
I think going over old laser skin
I've heard that.
is like
The
super
skin's
painful.
already thrashed
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so much trauma to the skin after that. It's been
Yeah.
tattooed, then it's been
Yeah.
lasered.
Even though it's been years, like, you know, it was so shit.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just black out than get laser.
Fuck that.
Like I got laser from like the elbow up onto my chest because I wanted to get all Japanese.
Yeah.
I did one session, it was like swollen. The tattoo stopped there and it was swollen to my hand.
What?
It was so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that's
fucked.
really. I'm just like.
So I went to
wait.
work the next day, I was cool. The day after that, I went to
Yeah.
go and I was like just sweating and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Because I feel like lasering is definitely a lot more trauma to the skin than a tattoo is.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like, I don't know if it's worth it. Like for little tattoos, then yeah, probably
Yeah.
it's sweet.
Yeah, and
ones,
like it- just
I
say
don't
when you get a back piece and there's like sort of something in the way,
know.
like
Yeah.
I would say get like one or two.
Yeah. Just one or
But
two
yeah.
and then just blast over it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Lighten it
Yeah.
up enough.
It's got its place for sure.
Yeah, I have heard that it's more painful. Everybody
Yeah.
that's had lasers, like it's so much more painful
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
more expensive. I think.
Yeah,
I
it's
was-
pretty expensive.
Yeah, I was.
Depends who you go to as well.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. There are a
Everyone
few
would be
good
different.
places, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I went like in the early days and she had it on a really low setting
Mm.
and I would have to go like 10 times. So I got
Yeah.
to the point I was like, I just left it. Then I went to MJ Driver years ago. He did one on it and it was like blasted it off.
Oh,
Like,
true.
so easy.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he was like, I don't know, doing it not for the money, doing it so people can get cover ups
For the
and stuff.
cause.
Yeah.
Is that MJ Driver? Is he now recovery?
Removery, I think.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Go over
Yeah,
that, yeah.
I
Yeah,
know that
cool.
joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in
So-
Sydney too.
So before Removery, it was MJ
Yeah.
at Chapel.
No
Chapel
shit.
Tattoo.
Yeah.
And then Kelly Swift took over that.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's Swift Removal.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Kelly. I've got a sticker on my little office.
Yeah. So I got
Yeah.
a session from her on my arm and all that. And I did that just before our first kid was born. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I'll get it now and then I can hold them and stuff.
Yeah.
And you've got this big
And then I had
elephant
this
arm.
like elephant arm and I'm like, oh, I'm doing that again.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
And I remember going into Chapel Tattoo and like I was obviously, I think I was like halfway pregnant.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Yeah.
sitting there pregnant with my boyfriend about to get laid. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And now look at us. So
Yeah.
random.
Talking about that moment.
Yeah, literally.
That's it on a
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a podcast in our own studio. It's crazy.
You said that your dad was like into the customer care sort of stuff. Do you reckon you
Yeah.
do that with tattooing as well? Like that's something that you
Yeah, definitely.
focus on a lot?
Yeah, like I've made it my kind of whole thing where it's like, obviously it's like professional, but as unprofessional as professional can be, if that
Yeah.
makes
Nice.
sense.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I will take the piss out of you. Like, I don't care if this is the first time I'm tattooing you.
Yeah.
Like, I've had, like, especially like young, fresh 18 girls come in, want to get like matching tattoos with their best friend, and I'll freak them the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be like, are you sure you want to do this? This will suck. This will hurt. Like, you
Yeah.
know, like that whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I know the second I start tattooing him, it's like, oh, this is all it is. And it's like,
Yeah.
But like, I've had these 2 chicks, and I freaked them out almost to the extent they just walk out.
Yeah.
But like that, I ended up tattooing them.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is fucking awesome. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they keep coming back, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely not one of those types where it's like full safe space, professional, fucking this, that.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
Yeah. And you can be like super professional, that kind of thing, but it's the experience that you give them.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what they walk away with.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, if I'm going on lunch break and I've got a full day, like my client will come with me and we'll just get lunch together and I'll shout him lunch, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's costing me fuck all. And it's
Yeah.
just like, if anything's making a friend, you know, it's like not just
Yeah.
a client making a friend.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important part of it.
Yeah.
Totally.
They're going to go away like, yeah, I got this tattoo. It's a sick tattoo, but we went and had lunch and like he was a real cool guy and all that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like it goes a long way.
Exactly. Like,
Definitely does.
We have people come in now and it's like they've got this awesome tattoo on their wrist. They're like, oh, the experience was really bad. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go back there.
yeah, and like, there are some awkward tattoo artists out there who just don't say anything to
Yeah.
you.
They
you know?
don't want to talk, like the whole headphones in, I'm just working type
Yeah.
thing. I think that is
Yeah.
so damaging to
It
both
is.
the client and
And it
themselves.
sucks because some people have to get into the zone like that, and that's how they get into their like their muse or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like it just comes across as like really arrogant,
and
Yeah, it
cold.
does.
you know?
Yeah.
I think when you're touching someone's skin, like you're exchanging energies, like I'm a firm believer in like, you know, if I touch you, that's an interaction. And if I'm just going to be cold about it, like it's not
Yeah.
only awkward for the
Yeah.
client,
We're
but like
in someone's personal space.
in
Yeah,
their
exactly.
bubble.
And
as
most
well.
people
Yeah.
don't like getting
Yeah.
touched as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Not only are you touching them, you're hurting them as well.
Yeah.
And you just got your headphones on and like, you know, not giving them respect in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're breaking a certain barrier. Like, that's why, like, as tattoo artists, like, you especially know, like, we get told some shit. Like,
Yeah.
we're like almost therapists. to an
Yeah,
extent
definitely.
sometimes, you know what I mean?
100%.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think that's got to do with that kind of breaking that barrier of, like, you are actually causing them pain.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, you're causing them pain, but at the end of the day, they're going to like what comes out of the pain.
Yeah.
But you are causing them sometimes
Yeah.
significant pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and with that whole like exchanging energies thing, like our hearts are magnets, literal magnets.
Yeah.
They're a second brain. They're magnets. So it's like you're always exchanging energy no matter what.
Yeah.
That's
So
just the
true.
science.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like it's not like this whole spiritual thing, which like I'm pretty spiritual anyway, but it's the actual science behind it. You are breaking this barrier, especially when you're hurting him, and it's like it opens a lot of shit up.
Yeah.
So that's why it's easier to make relationships from it, like friendships and stuff. And people become way more open talking about trauma and things because you're
Yeah.
giving them trauma.
Because
Yeah.
they're like in a vulnerable state. You
Yeah.
put them in a
Trust in
vulnerable
you, they
state
give you
and
that
they're,
trust.
they're able to open up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had heaps of hectic conversations like that. And that was like sort of the inspiration for the podcast.
Yeah.
Because
That's
it's
dope.
like the stories that you hear from some people.
Yeah.
And it's like 10 minutes into the tattoo.
Yeah, I know.
And it's
fucking
like
crazy.
really dark stuff.
Yeah.
And you're
It's
like,
nuts.
sometimes the reaction you give to them is like the hardest part.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa, like, yeah, like, that really sucks. Are you thirsty? Do you want a drink or something like that? You want some lies?
also too, I've seen you like interact with your clients, and you're not like, you're very good at what you do. So don't be like, oh, do you want some drinks and shit like that? Like I
Yeah, I
see
know,
you
but
engage.
some of the
and
things
you
that they
are-
like tell you is
yeah,
like,
it's heavy, but I think
Yeah.
they giving you that trust. Like even me at the desk, like I'm doing my work and
Yeah.
stuff, and then I'll start like talking to people because I love people,
Yeah.
and I love connecting with people. And then it's like, yeah, they're letting you into their world, which I think is super special. And like you do make those friendships, and they are rewarding. And then they do leave. They have a tattoo they love. They've connected with you. Like I love that whole
Yeah.
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
and that's what we do. Really try to create.
and
Like, you
then
can
you're
go-
with them for the rest of their life,
Yeah.
essentially.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a very good way to look at it because like you're talking to people. It's
Yeah.
one of the best things I feel like. You know, just
Yeah.
communicating.
And I think too in your industry, like I'm now in the industry too, but I'm not tattooing, so I'm seeing it with different eyes. Although I am kind of learning a lot. Going, we are very oversaturated.
Yeah,
So it's
we
like
are.
if you don't give that client that experience and make them feel really good about themselves genuinely,
Yeah.
not ingenuinely, like you only do it. It has to happen naturally, organically. They're gonna. There's too much choice. Like you
Yeah.
can be the best tattoo artist in the world, but like, yeah, they might come and get a tattoo from you. But if you're really negative, or you're not talking to them, or you're like, I remember our friend had a tattoo and it's a beautiful tattoo. She's like, but I hate it because of the experience.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
artist yelled at me because I was late. She didn't have the correct design drawn, and then she was like asking me, well, you should have the design. And so I think, that's really important. People are going to come back to you for the way that you make them feel.
Yeah.
So if you already have like unlocked that, and you're already like, you know, loving that part of what you do, and you're bringing that, you know, into your work, like, that's super special.
Yeah, like, I think it's very important to bring a personal level to it. Like even with like my Instagram, like we've had a chat about it before, where it's like I will put shit on my story and posts of like me munting, me getting fucked up, like this type of stuff. And I have clients all the time, almost multiple times a week. Like they come in, they say specifically like, I love that type of shit. Like it's fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that's why I do it. You know, because it's a lot easier to be able to go to someone that you feel like you already know.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
That's what we always say.
Yeah.
And people do come in, they're like, oh, we feel like we already know you because we see you on the stories and all that type of thing.
And I just feel like, especially when a lot of tattoo artists, they don't even have a single photo of them on their Instagram. I can think it's, you want your art to speak for itself. You definitely do. But you can only grow so much from that.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of fucking good artists out there.
Yeah.
There really are, you know. But there's a lot less good artists that are also really good people.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of arrogance, there's a lot of egos in this industry, as we all know.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, it's very easy to become a bit too cool for school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's easy to like be under the trap where it's like, I gotta just post tattoos, like this is my profession, I keep my personal stuff out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of like finding that now, it's like I gotta be a bit more personal on there. And
Like,
like
you are your brand. You are your brand.
Definitely.
That's
and
right.
people want to put a face. Like they want to be able to, you know, connect and like all of that too.
Yeah.
Which I think for now, like you're more open to like showing, you know, our side of like our life and our family, and even if it's little things like our dog.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool because then like, you know, people are like, oh, you've got a dog, I've got a dog, and then it opens like another gateway, and it's just awesome.
Because like for me, my best is word of mouth. That's how I get work.
Yeah.
Mainly, I would say. And social media gets a few people in, then it's the word of mouth.
Yeah.
So you get the social media people, and then they just spread the word, and it goes from there, sort of thing. How do you find what works best for you? Because you treat social media pretty differently to most people.
And I feel like social media is a big one for me.
Yeah.
But I reckon it's definitely 50-50 with word of mouth and social media.
Yeah.
Like other people coming in from TikTok, coming in from Instagram.
Yeah.
Like tons of stuff like that. Like even like my mates or something will post a photo of me tattooing and tag me in it, and then all of a sudden a few of their mates are coming and getting tattoos.
Yeah, yeah.
And in my generation, it's kind of like that's the new word of mouth. You know what I mean? People's stories. It's
Yeah.
weird,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
like you've got to adapt to that.
Yes.
Yeah, I
what I
find
mean?
that's the hardest
So
thing because
vital.
we're like a bit older.
Yeah, I know.
Trying to
I
get
feel-
into the mindset of the 20-year-old
Yeah.
is very hard. Because when I was 20, it was like Facebook was there, but you didn't like, you know, my Facebook status was like, who wants to get drunk and high tonight? You know, and like 10 likes, 5 comments.
Yeah.
Now it's like, I better construct this nicely so I don't like offend anyone or someone takes this the wrong way and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I think Facebook and Instagram are two different worlds. There's things that I will post on Facebook that I would not post on Instagram, and there's definitely things on Instagram that's like acceptable that I would never post on Facebook.
Yeah.
How did we
Which is
get
weird.
here?
I don't even use
And
Facebook.
even the communication
I
of
don't touch
like, that's it's known as like the oldies app now.
Yeah.
But even like just the make or break of a certain emoji, you know, for a relationship. Like if I'm like, hey, Indi, and I do a love heart, you're like, oh, wow, she's feeling a bit fancy today. But if
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, Indi, and I'm doing a smile face, like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, how are you type thing. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird how we can look into so much. Like, even I've had like talking to friends and stuff, and I'll be like, oh, she used this emoji. And you'll be like, what the fuck? How does an emoji make or break something? But
Yeah.
it does. And that's
and
the
everyone's
same as
going to
the
like
internet.
see emojis different to other people.
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
I think people are very quick to our attention span has gone down the shitter.
So I heard that our attention span is,
It's like 0.3 of a second or something.
I think it's 7 seconds.
Is it 7 seconds?
Wow.
And a goldfish is 8.
Yeah.
Some people
fuck.
say we have mirror goldfish. Like we're literally,
Literally.
that's actually a
fucked.
compliment because that's a second
Yeah.
more than the normal. Like
Well,
you know,
God.
Yeah.
it's really bad.
Well, think about it. You're scrolling on TikTok. Like, I'll be on it. I'll give it half a second sometimes.
Same.
Yeah.
Bang.
You know?
Bang.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I think that it's fucking nuts. But like you were saying before about like being careful what you say and stuff on social media.
yeah,
You know, the whole cancel culture thing nowadays. I just think that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
it's bad.
Personally, yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's fucking ridiculous. Like,
It's the problem is people are allowed to have opinions.
Yeah, for sure.
And like that's where humans, we're all different.
Yeah.
But if we all have to think the same and only be friends that think the same, then it's like, what are we doing? We're like almost de-evolving
yeah,
in
you
a
can't
way.
fucking grow from that.
Yeah.
You cannot
like,
grow.
we should be able to have different opinions and like talk about it, even argue about it, but then still go and have lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
100%.
There's been people like, so I had a really good friend for so many years who's been there through so many things for me. I've been there through so many things for her. And literally because I wasn't posting about a world crisis on my stories, I was posting about my life.
Yeah.
She was like, fuck you,
Really?
you're insensitive. How can you be living during times like this? And I was like, whoa, you don't even know my view because
Yeah.
I'm not posting about that. I
Yeah.
don't hold like respect and I don't care for that.
Yeah.
And it's just nuts. Like, I'm scared to talk. Outside of the studio, outside of my home, I'm like, I keep my mouth shut. I'm ignorant. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, safe way to be. But, like, obviously you have those people that you can talk to about your views and stuff. But, like, yeah, the whole cancel thing is scary.
Yeah.
Like, say, I'm not one of those, I call them Northsiders, like the people from like Fitzroy and like safe space kind of shit. And like, look, be who you want. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I really don't give a
Just
fuck.
don't...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but like, you don't need to go to the extent where it's like, how do I explain it? It's like when someone says some shit, like say racist, right? They
Yeah.
say something that's maybe racist to like black culture or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, it's not even the black community getting angry about it. It's
Yeah.
these fucking Northsiders type of people,
Yeah.
like who are the whitest motherfuckers
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
angry about this shit. Where
Yeah.
the black community doesn't even give a fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
In
And
fact,
I
that
just think
white
it's
guy
stupid.
hasn't even got a black friend. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
They're
And
doing
then-
it for, it's like an aesthetic now. It's like not even
That-
an actual
I couldn't
think
of better
opinion. It's
words.
more of a fucking aesthetic
Yeah.
and a trend, which is,
Yeah.
I think, more racist than the actual racist comment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, so this is where I'm like nervous now to get into it and I want to get into it. Fuck it, I'm going to
Yeah.
get into it. So, the whole vote yes.
Yeah.
So many people like, and see, now I don't know where to start.
didn't even vote.
I've opened a can of worms.
Yeah, well,
Can I
if
just
you
say
didn't vote yes, you're a racist.
Yeah.
yes? But then they were saying, don't vote yes. We don't want the vote. Like, there was so many different things, but it was
Yeah.
like the people that were so passionate, like you said, are they related to any Aboriginals? Do they do any volunteer work? Do they go and work with Aboriginal communities? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, do they even have a single friend who is from
Yeah.
that community
Yeah.
and that culture? Like,
But
Yeah.
they were like ready to like punch on if you were going to be against that.
yeah.
And like you said, it's an aesthetic.
Yeah.
Which
And
is,
like-
I haven't heard any better wording.
And I even
for-
asked like a few Aboriginal clients and mates that I have, like, what does the yes do and what does the no do?
Yeah.
And they didn't even know.
Yeah.
No one
Like
knew.
no one knew. Like to vote the yes, it was like, cool, but we haven't actually made that plan yet. So you're voting for something that we haven't even secured yet.
And
or
they
something
tore
like that.
a whole communities apart from being like, I'm a yes and I'm a no. And it was like this whole thing. And it,
The left and right thing is
Yeah.
Like
the
I
teams.
I think maybe a week beforehand, like the actual voting, I was in a jazz bar in Fitzroy.
Yeah.
And the band just started going on about, at the end of their gig, they started going about, vote yes, if you don't vote yes, you're a racist, like just full going on about it. And I'm just like sitting there, but like, I didn't vote. I actually spent the day of the vote with my Aboriginal friend, and he's kind of like to me, like, not offense, but like, you shouldn't even have a fucking opinion on it. You know, it's
Yeah.
not going to affect you. Like,
Yeah.
it ultimately might affect us a little bit, but fucking not really. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
really. Not,
yeah, why are we still making their choices?
Exactly,
They should
that's
just
the
be
whole
allowed
thing.
to
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
for
Yeah.
themselves.
Like,
And we break down like that, like, kind of sounds racist.
It
Like, doesn't
is.
it?
Exactly.
Everything is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like, it's hypocritical.
Like the voting should have just been for that community, for
Yeah.
that culture. Like
Yeah.
they should have been the only ones allowed to vote for it.
Yeah.
You know? So they decide their own
Yeah.
outcome, which
Yeah.
should have been the thing the whole fucking time. You know?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like
And
because
then,
there were so many people saying like Aboriginals and stuff saying, "Oh, vote no, vote
Yeah.
no."
Yeah.
Where it's like if we all vote yes and it went through, then we're doing
What
the
does
opposite of
that
what
mean?
fucking they
Exactly.
want. Which
and
is,
then what
Yeah.
does that
The whole
mean for them?
thing.
Like, we don't even know what we're voting for. That
Yeah.
could have meant that, like, you know, we take all of their rights away. Or
That's
like,
right.
shit that we shouldn't have access to as like nobody.
It was almost like
Yeah.
like just branding.
Yeah.
You know, like it was just a really good
And what's come of it now?
publicity
I
stunt
haven't
in a
heard
way.
anything.
Yeah, literally nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything.
I feel like it was a bit of a publicity stunt for the
Yeah.
government to just like look like the good guys,
Yeah.
kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like look like they're trying to go down the right path and stuff like that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
that's
if
what
that's what
it's-
they're doing, that's fucking smart.
It's
because
all
tricked-
about
tricked everyone.
It's all about a flex.
Yeah.
You know? Everyone's got their flex.
Yeah, it's
You're big on flexes
something.
at the moment, hey?
Yeah.
All right, what's your flex? What's your number one flex?
I'm still finding my flex.
Still finding
My inner flex.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you explain? For like, because I know what you, like, I know what you've been on about, like, but like, what's this whole philosophy behind flexes?
It's just something that you can do that you're proud of,
Yeah.
essentially.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
It might even just be like customer care.
Yeah.
Like I treat customers really well and I want them leaving here feeling like they're like $1 million.
Yeah.
That's my flex.
Yeah. My flex is
Nice.
given the indie experience is
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I used to call it at full
Oh.
spectrum.
Yeah.
Whereas like
Cool.
they'll come in and they'll be like, all right, I want to get a koi fish on my arm.
Yeah.
And sometimes if I don't like the design or I think it'll look shit, I'll tell them, all right, we're not doing that. Like just straight up, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of tell them what they should get. And
Yeah.
usually they listen to me because like when they actually hear my ideas, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is,
Yeah.
This is
Cool.
better than what
And
you-
that's about giving confidence
yeah.
in the client. If you talk to them with confidence, they'll listen to what you have to say.
Yeah, exactly. And another part of the indie experience is like, it's me being loud and yelling at everyone else in the shop.
Yeah.
Just being a fuckwit.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like yelling at the apprentice or like
Yeah.
me and Mitch always bantering about some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, pre-kids, I was very ADD, loud,
so annoying.
joking around all the time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like too tired for that shit,
He's
man.
just
Yeah.
so mellow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
definitely
like
get that.
way too chill.
Yeah.
Like I'll get into those moments and like I'll be doing that shit for sure.
Yeah.
But now I'm just chilling my client, just talking about whatever, and I'm just
On your
head on.
second coffee,
Yeah,
you're like Roscoe. He's like, now he's nearly like a lot older. You're mellowed down. Like you don't have that like testosterone.
I'm an old dog.
Old dog, young bull.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's nice,
But
you
like
can
when I started my
appreciate every
apprenticeship,
stage.
yeah, like I said to one of the guys I work with, if reels were around when I was in my
Oh my
apprenticeship,
gosh.
Yeah.
we'd be viral
You'd
every
be in
day.
your glory.
Yeah.
Just the amount of like
Just dumb
shit,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like shit I said, and
See, and I love that stuff. Like, I remember like me and Mitch were having a few weeks where we were just like, just all out, full out prank wars, just like fucking with each other's station,
Yeah.
just ruining everyone's day, kind of.
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
And I was hungover as fuck. Like, I don't usually get hungover at all, but like this one day I had a big night, hungover as fuck, got like 2 hours sleep, and I'm rolling into wherever like shades on in UGG boots and like trackies and shit. It's like,
Yeah.
"Ah,
No.
I'm here.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then I come to my station, the whole thing's just fucking glad wrapped, and I'm just sitting there like, fuck.
Yeah,
Like, there's
yeah.
a photo of me just on the floor, just like almost passed out, just
Yeah.
fucking everything glad wrapped, and I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck.
yeah, yeah.
But I
Walked
love
into
that
that
shit.
one. Yeah,
Makes it fun.
Yeah, and it's like, that's what makes like your job not a job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can't think of anything worse of like going to work every day and thinking it's work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'd never want to get to
And
that
that
point.
comes down to the culture of like the studio or
Yeah,
the job
100%.
or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because you can go work at a Coles and it can be awesome because
Yeah,
the people
fuck
you
yeah.
work with are like
They're
sick
sick.
and like
Like, got a good boss,
everyone's on
good
the
manager.
same level and like all that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And like you can work in a tattoo shop and it's like we've collected all the best tattooists and we're going to form like Voltron essentially.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't mean shit, you know? Like
That's it.
if you're all mates and you can like get along with each other and that,
Yeah.
that's better.
Yeah,
Oh,
I haven't stepped
definitely.
foot into many studios that are much a community.
Yeah.
They're more of a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
They aren't really well-oiled. They just make money as much
Yeah.
as they can. That's
Yeah.
what their main
Everyone for
focus is.
themselves type thing.
Yeah, and I just think that's fucking stupid. Like, but then you'll see other people at shops and like they're fucking like best mates, and like that shit's the best because
Yeah.
you're going to do guest spots together, you're traveling together, you're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, because I think being stuck in one place for a long time, especially early in your career,
Yes.
is like it can be good, but you want to go experience shit.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you need to.
Yeah.
And that would be my best advice as a motherly figure to you.
Yeah.
Would be if there's anything you ever want to do it now while you're young.
Yeah,
Do it
exactly.
while you've got that eagerness and that curiousness, like just to go sniff it and feel it all.
Yeah.
Like just do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I think you need to. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyone that's like, oh, you need to have a stable job. No, you need to live. We're only here once if we don't get too spiritual about it. But while you're here in this physical realm, like, you need to go and do it.
Exactly. And that's why I'm going to Europe soon. So
Yeah.
Because you got to
back,
be in this industry. You got to be hungry.
Yeah.
And when
for
you
sure.
first start tattooing, if you really appreciate that you can tattoo, you're hungry.
Yeah.
And you just want to tattoo as much as you can, like
Exactly.
guest spot, do all these things and all that, and it's good.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do Europe for a few months, tattoo over there, do expos and stuff. Like, yeah, be leaving like mid-May-ish.
Yeah.
So that'd be sick.
Awesome.
And then
Yeah.
just guest spot a few shops until then. Like, be here for a little bit, be at a few other shops. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I've got a few shops in Paris lined up at the moment.
That is
Yeah.
so
so
that'd be
cool. Like, I
So
want to
like
come with
you got nothing tying you down.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, exactly.
So you can do whatever
Yeah.
you want. You could even go off grid for like a month,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, and just like
Literally.
return.
Yeah.
You know, and give the indie experience again.
That's
you
it.
know?
Yeah.
And the indie experience will keep changing. Like, you're going to go and you're going to grow through different experiences and meeting different people and being in different environments. And, like, you might come back and be like, whoa, that was the best thing I ever did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
especially like meeting people, seeing like how other studios work and how they kind of think about stuff. Because
Yeah.
there are some artists there who like their whole persona and style just doesn't click with
Doesn't
mine.
match.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're
That's
too-
going to happen. That's just life, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like with the whole egotistical thing, like when I am posting some of those stupid, fucking funny, weird shit that I do post, random stuff that has nothing to do with tattoos at all,
Yeah.
I'll get comments from other tattoo artists. Like I have had multiple other tattoo artists text me being like, this is fucking embarrassing, you're fucked cunt,
Oh.
shit like this. Like other tattoo artists.
Wow.
So, and I love that shit.
Yeah.
So, I,
Well,
like,
you know what
the
that
other-
means. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
posted a video the other month, like of me munting and shit, and I got a few things like that. So I think last weekend or on the weekend, I was at the Eric Andre show,
Yeah.
and me and a few mates got a bit inspired.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
the whole thing was we'd go up to people and interview them,
Yeah.
and I just come in munting at everyone's feet.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
fucked up. One
Yeah,
mate's
yeah.
interviewing him, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw that
Just
guy and he
getting
was
their
like, no
reaction.
comment, no comment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
to
yeah.
see.
I saw that.
But and then I remember what everyone was like saying and shit, like all
Yeah.
the people replying back to it. So I'm like, fucking embarrassing, like on it, just taking the piss out of
Yeah.
it because I don't give a fuck. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
If you
yeah.
think that, like piss off. I don't give
Yeah,
a
yeah.
fuck.
You're just doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one should be worried about anyone. If you're not hurting anyone, like, just, you know, do your thing.
Yeah, and
Own
one,
it, and you
one
do.
of the guys who replied to it was, like, I'm not gonna say who it was, but they weren't even following me.
Yeah.
So like they went out of their way to search my
watch it.
name up,
So obviously they're
watch my story,
lurking.
yeah, and then fucking reply to it. It's like,
Yeah.
fucking, how old are you again?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
yeah.
sometimes too it does come from, like, if you really draw it back, it does come from jealousy. Because anyone
Mm.
who is, and I hate to say, oh, they're saying that because they're jealous, because that's not always true.
Yeah.
But it's like they see something,
Well,
like maybe
something's
they
triggered
wish
them.
they could do that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, I wish I could
Yeah.
just throw my image away and be like,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
not careless but
Yeah.
carefree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
like, I can't just put up a story over the weekend. It's like just me in a video of like my kid vomiting and stuff. Like, yeah, and then like, you know, we're
Like,
eating
shit,
cereal
Dad.
together and
Yeah.
stuff.
CCS will be on the
Yeah.
And we're like,
doorstep.
yeah, this is how we do it. You know, like
Yeah.
just like I can't give
Same
that.
as me.
Yeah.
I can't just like walk around like I don't even know what I'd do because
Yeah.
I'm a mum. I've got to be like censored. So, but I wasn't always, and I
Yeah.
miss that part. So
Yeah.
like live it because
Yeah.
one
And
day you're
like
gonna miss it.
I can post as much personal stuff as I want, but like all I do is work, go home,
Yeah.
and like put the kids to sleep and like
We're boring.
do like parent shit. You know what
so-
I mean?
And like I'm young, I can still have that. Like I work 7 days a week. I can work 7 days a week, go out most of those nights,
and
and then
still be fresh.
yeah, still be
Or
fresh the
somewhat.
next
Yeah.
morning. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like I said, I don't really get hungover that much.
Yeah.
So like a lot of those times where I'm that fucked up, I'm
Yeah.
sweet in the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
morning. Like
It's
So
like
good.
that CKY. Do you remember CKY?
yeah, like that Chinese rap kind of stuff. I
Yeah,
remember
like
that.
the Camp Kill Yourself, like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
BAM and all that.
Yeah,
It's like that's your life.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and who
Yeah.
wouldn't? Like, there's probably so many people like, fuck, I
Yeah.
just
It
be
makes
him for a
interesting.
day.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
makes it interesting. Like you're not doing the same repetitive shit every day.
Yes, otherwise you can get stagnant, and that's when other things come into it. You know, then you're unhappy, and then you're bringing that into
Yeah.
it. So if you're happy and you're loving your life, like,
Yeah.
it's only going to reflect in every other area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because sometimes you just don't grow. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but if you do something 1% better every day, you're still going to progress.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're just so stagnant, you're just going down. you
Yeah.
know?
And that's when you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
all right,
You want to be
so-
constantly improving little bits.
Exactly. When
Yeah.
you're trying new shit, doing
Yeah.
this. If this doesn't work, all right, cool, let's improve it. Do it
Yeah.
this way. Like, always
Yeah.
mix shit up.
And like a lot of the tattooists like my age and older, they aren't adapting to
Yeah.
like the new sort of things.
Yeah, exactly. But
And
you are,
it's
though.
like-
You're still hungry, you can tell. Which
You-
is
you
fucking
have-
dope.
He's
You
very
have
hungry
to.
to the
Yeah.
point that I'm like, all right, slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
I'm like
Well, I-
digging
I
my
was-
nails in, and he's like,
Ideas.
get into
I
it.
started tattooing
Yeah.
like a bit later. So
Yeah.
I was 25
Yeah.
and we had our So I started the industry when I was 25. By the time I was tattooing, we were about to have our first kid.
Yeah.
When I was about to go non-apprentice. So I was like, I've got to support a family now.
Yeah.
Like I really have to like,
Hustle.
yeah,
Yeah.
hustle hard. And I've just kept that from then,
Nice.
you know. Even from the beginning of apprentice, or when I was an apprentice, like Instagram wasn't like you chuck up a story and get work. You put up your post and it would get well received, but that was about it.
Yeah.
I would make flyers and go to all the cafes in the areas, leave them there, and I'll get work like
Yeah.
that, the
Yeah,
old
like,
school way, you know.
That would still work now, but just not to the same extent.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, why not do both?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, then you know you've got every angle covered. Well, going back to what you said about Instagram, I remember when we first met, like first met before I ghosted you for 4 years. I was using Instagram as like it was dead. It was nothing.
Yeah.
It was just out. I was taking photos and using it just for filters and then deleting them. Like it was for so
Yeah.
long, it wasn't anything. And now people have literally like made their whole life.
Yeah.
You know, they've built careers and they've
Yeah.
become so successful. So like, I guess the flip side of it being like it does suck all of our attention and like we are living in our phones. Like it's
Yeah,
done
and with
really
Instagram,
well.
like people have fake lives.
Yeah.
And like you can't fake what you do.
yeah.
Like how do you like what you want to go out and make yourself vomit? You
Yeah.
know, like you can't do that.
Well, I mean,
There's some
sometimes
things
it
you
is me
can't fake.
making myself vomit, but sometimes I fucking need to. Like,
Oh,
You
yeah.
know when you just
You
need
feel
to.
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
Have a
Then
little
he
tacky
just
mark,
continue on and keep drinking.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I've
needs
been
to be
there.
done.
Yeah.
But yeah, like definitely, like yeah, there are so many not only artists but just people that's on it doing fake shit and like this is what my life is. My life's amazing, but then
Yeah.
it's
They're so
not.
unhappy.
Yeah,
But people don't like necessarily want to. They want to see the real stuff.
yeah, exactly.
You know, even if
Especially
it does
now.
like offend them a bit, like, and they have
Yeah.
to comment on it and saying this is an embarrassment and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
but it's like you were saying before, it's a bit of that thing where sometimes I do think it is. They wish they could do some shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
They
course
just
it is.
won't allow themselves to
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they care about what people think too much.
Yeah.
Where I'm kind of grateful that I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
envious.
yeah.
It's a beautiful trait to have
Yeah.
because so many of us have been conditioned to like care about every little thing we do, and especially like the old generations can't do this, can't say that, can't wear this,
Yeah.
can't look like that. Even like
Yeah.
you know, I've got all these things that I had to like let go of once I became a mum. Like, oh wait, I'm an adult now. Like I don't need to listen to all those rules that we place upon ourselves. But not many people get to that higher place where they're like, you know what, screw everything that was ingrained in me. This is my life.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
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 But I spent like a lot of my early like teenager, like childhood and shit, like caring a lot, like doing certain things because I believed I had to have a certain persona and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then
And probably
grow
for your
up.
parents
But
too.
that's that
Yeah,
age,
yeah.
you know. Like at that age, you don't know what or who you are.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
you have no idea what the fuck's going
Yeah.
on, and I don't know what the fuck's going on now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
But-
good.
yeah.
And you
Yeah.
won't for ages,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's the beauty. Even now, I'm 30. How old am I? 33, and I still don't know. And I
Yeah.
think that's the beauty of life. Is like you're still learning and you change, which is natural. Like don't run from it, embrace
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Like I think it's important to have goals for sure.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
And like have some sort of eye on the future. I know we got goals and stuff like that.
We do.
Yeah.
They change. I think.
And you've obviously got like the guest spots and that. Like,
Yeah.
what are you sort of looking towards the future for? What
Like
sort
a
of
5-year plan or something.
Oh yeah, like if you wanted to dot
I
point
hate
it, you
no,
know,
no, no. I
or-
hate the 5-year plan. You can't say that. What?
not even
'cause-
5-year
just
plan. What do you want to do
6 months.
In the
in
future.
the near future? Yeah,
Yeah. What do you see-
2024.
what do you see for
What's
Indie?
the indie experience for 2024?
Probably just do Europe, like do all that stuff, guest spot, just meet more people. Just I learn a lot more styles and like
Yeah,
techniques and stuff, which I want to like implement into my
Yeah.
stuff. Because I'm just doing very like, at least on my Instagram, just very trad
Yeah.
type of shit. But like I do other stuff all the time, just never really post it.
yeah,
And it's because when I was first started, I was posting every single tattoo just to show everyone I was like, hey, I'm fucking booked out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
get with me, blah blah.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, I won't post a tattoo for a week.
yeah,
I hardly ever post actual posts.
yeah,
Like I haven't probably posted one for like a month, maybe
Yeah.
longer, on my actual feed. But like I post it on my story all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never post on my feed. Don't know why. Just sometimes
Yeah.
it just can't be fucked.
You sort of do
Yeah.
like more of like a carousel type post, don't
Well, I
you?
see
Yeah,
these
yeah. Bit
carousels.
of a
They're
dump.
cool. They'll be like him getting fucked up, kissing like a alcohol bottle, which is
Yeah,
cute
yeah,
as, and then
yeah.
it'll be like tattoo. And I think that's really cool. I love the mix. I think it's
Yeah.
nice. It's refreshing.
Yeah, I know the exact post you're talking about. But it's like
Yeah.
amazing laying down
And you
with a
looks like
tequila
he, like-
bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Tequila
I
bottle
want to be
kissing.
kissing something right now.
Yeah.
I want to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I think that's a good way to do it.
Yeah,
Because you're not, because I find that if someone's oversaturating my feed on Instagram, it's kind of like, oh, can you fuck off now? Like,
Yeah.
You're kind of getting a bit annoying.
There's too much. You need to
Yeah.
have that demand to be like,
Yeah.
oh, what's Indi up to?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the thing is, like, you
yeah.
get confused because you're like, what does Instagram want? Oh, I need to
Yeah.
like get some work, and it's like, you need to constantly post and it needs to be
Yeah.
consistent and all these things. And then you do that, then you're like,
Not getting any bites.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
And I'm
ghost
putting
town.
so much effort into this.
Yeah, because I think people do get mixed up with, like, obviously the algorithm wants you to post like a certain amount of times a week, post this many reels a week, but the actual people seeing that stuff, it's like, I know for a fact that if I see the same person on Instagram every day, every second day, it's kind of like, I don't even look at what it is. I just see the name and it's like, fuck this
and
cunt
you
again.
Scroll,
Yeah,
scroll,
yeah.
scroll.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
So it's kind of like just that type of thing where it's like, oh, he's posted, hasn't posted for a while, what's he doing? You know, that's
Yeah.
like that
Yeah,
quick
or
little
you just like
mentality in
forget
your head.
about someone. Oh yeah, I haven't seen them for ages, and you go to their page and you're like, oh, they haven't posted. I hope they're okay. What are
Yeah.
they doing? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like a world inside a
Yeah.
fucking world. Like it's
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's etiquettes to it.
No, for sure. But I feel like TikTok's one of those ones that posting like a few times a week, like almost every day is
You need to be
good.
consistent.
Yeah.
You need to
And
be
it's like they
consistent with it.
prefer like the same settings, but then it's like sometimes you just want a free ball. Like you don't want to always have these conditions of like, oh, I need to be in this and doing that. And
Well,
like,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
There's like a pre-request for like a video. It's like you have to use trending audio and this trending filter. So
Yeah.
it's like you're creating something of the same thing.
That everyone else
Like
is
everyone's
yeah.
doing the same thing. So
Exactly.
like, why? Like it just sucks the creativeness
Yeah.
out of like artists.
It's like the depth
Essentially.
of detail.
And I think for me too, sometimes I'm so overstimulated because I'm like in proper life. Like if I'm
Yeah.
talking to you, I'm talking to you. I'm not like on my phone and shit. Like I'm giving 100%. So then when I look at my phone, I got all these things and I'm like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever feel overwhelmed like by TikTok, or do you just leave it, or are you someone who checks it? Like,
I go through stages. Like there are stages where I've been on TikTok every day for fucking like all day, every day.
yeah,
Doing
where
it.
it's like it's almost like a trance. Like, just
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
next? What's next?
But then there'll be times where I won't touch it. Like I haven't
Yeah.
posted on TikTok for a few weeks, you know. But I was posting on it every day for like a month or two.
Yeah.
And it did well. Like I think when I first started using it, like the first month, I got like maybe 10,000 or a bit under a
Wow,
month.
which is hard to do.
I think just a few of my TikToks went viral, and I was like, oh, cool. This
good's
is
that?
this is nice.
Everyone's
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
Everyone's like always hashtag viral, hashtag FYP or
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like a few people that were coming in like from TikTok, being like,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't
So
even know you were
good.
in Melbourne. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, well, yeah.
And once again, those platforms are really great for that because like you can connect with people that you wouldn't have ever had that chance.
Yeah. And it's even like making those Instagram and TikTok friends that are other tattoo artists and then meeting them at expos.
It's so
Yeah.
much
Like
cooler,
it's
hey?
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, I've
I feel
done it
like
a
I'm
few
always
times.
starstruck. Like I've seen them on Instagram and then in person I'm like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like it's such a weird.
And that just shows how important it is just having a presence
Yeah, exactly.
on your social media of like you. Because
Yeah.
then people are like, oh, I know that person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
and if they like you, they like you, and like cool, like I
Yeah.
want to get tattooed by him.
Where it's
Yeah.
like if you don't only see their tattoos, you're like, oh, that was that dude. You're like, oh, what the hell? Like,
Yeah. And
that
it's
guy's
like-
got good as work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can lose a client that way.
Yeah.
Because they don't even know who you are. It's like, oh, you walk past this famous tattoo artist with
Yeah.
dope tattoos and like
Yeah, yeah.
doing dope shit. But like, if you knew that it was actually them, you might have walked up to them and said
Yes.
something. You
Yeah.
know? And then you could have gotten a client from that.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, they might not need that client, but like, still,
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
But some of these people, they have like not many clients and like kind of like struggling a little bit, especially now with the fucking industry. Like, they need those clients.
Yeah.
Because every fucking client
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah.
Literally, because it's gone. Like even the other day, I opened up my Instagram. Obviously, I'm in charge of shop page and my personal.
Yeah.
And I got another personal because like why the fuck not? And every artist that like every story, I've got time, I can do this at discount, and I'm like, whoa, this is
Yeah.
massive red flags. Like I know
Yeah.
we all need work, but I'm like, why is every artist dry?
Yeah.
We were talking
But
about
it's
this
just-
earlier, and it's just like we go through these slow periods. Pre-COVID, this is like really normal.
Yeah.
People just got used to being booked out like heavy because of COVID.
And everyone
Yeah.
had money, and they were
Yeah,
locked
now
up.
there's like inflation and like
Now they can't live the lifestyle they want to because
Yeah.
they got used to that when they were having
Yeah.
that money from the
Yeah.
post-COVID like surge.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
this
tattoos
is
are
this is
expensive.
this is normal, and this is like the best time to start doing those paintings, the ideas that you've had, and
Yeah.
pumping
Well, I
out
saw
flash.
you doing a
and-
painting, which was really beautiful too.
Yeah.
Even you, just in like that scenic, that
Yeah, I was-
beautiful greenery, like it was so cool.
Yeah, I started painting more. I fucking love it because
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it for a while just because I was always doing flash, like focusing
Yeah.
on that and like keeping up with just drawing for clients and stuff.
Yeah.
But now that I've kind of like chilled out a little bit and I'm kind of forcing myself to just fucking stay up
Yeah.
sometimes and
Yeah.
do this because
Yeah.
I've got like 20 paintings that I've sketched on the canvas, just haven't got paint
Yeah.
to it yet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then once you start, it's kind of like really addictive. You can't
Yeah.
stop. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not like it's a bad thing. You're not sitting
Yeah.
there scrolling. You're sitting there like putting, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's good to fill up the time because, like, sometimes I will get sick and tired of just drawing flash on flash on flash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too much.
So it's like, I want
That's
to do
why I
the
like
shit
to do
wanna
like big paintings.
Yeah.
Like A1 paintings is like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, the
And
fucking
sometimes it
sick.
takes months to finish it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Then you finally finish it, and it's like the best feeling.
And
Yeah,
people love it.
exactly.
I think that's even like I've never put anything out there, but like
Mm.
when people love your work, I'm like I get proud. So I can't even imagine how you feel. Like someone's
Yeah.
come up, oh, how much is this? And they want to buy it and they want to hang it and they put it in their private space, like the bedroom and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
that must be the most surreal
Yeah.
feeling ever.
It's pretty
Yeah.
close to like, I think it feels better than tattooing sometimes.
100%.
Because it's
especially-
like they're putting it on their home to display to everyone that walks in.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. And especially because since it's like a creative outlet, it's like there are so many creative outlets like writing songs, like poetry, and like I love poetry and like writing songs and stuff. So like
Yeah.
sometimes like that painting I did recently, like behind it, like in the actual background of it, I just put poetry.
Yeah.
Just like I was like, well, I've got this like poem, but nowhere to put it. Let's just fucking put it on this. Fucking,
Yeah.
and that's like mixing two things together.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like when I posted it, the people have been like, oh, like they actually understood what I was trying to get from it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That I was trying to like give off.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, the fact that they even understood it without me having to explain it and shit.
Yeah, it's
is,
really
like,
cool.
Sick ass.
That means they just sat there and they looked at it,
yeah, exactly.
which is really cool.
And
yeah.
yeah, that's one of the best things I feel like as an artist, like people actually looking there and understanding your work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's unreal.
So you reckon you'll get some more paintings done
Yeah, yeah.
when the time that you're here before
Yeah,
you go?
I reckon
I'm excited.
hopefully one or two, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I love poetry.
Yeah.
I love poetry too. So
Yeah, it's sick.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, poetry and philosophy, like mixing those two.
Yeah.
That's what I try and do for the most part.
Yeah. They go hand in hand together as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
Because words are powerful.
Mm,
And once you put it to paper, it's like it's even more powerful.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Then you can try and like draw that, like in art form, and that's like
Yeah, put it into an image.
4D type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, I've been reading like Plato recently. Fucking
Yeah.
sick. Like a bit of Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius is sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, mixing that up with type of stuff, and sometimes I read stoned as fuck, and I have to reread
Yeah.
like pages
Yeah, yeah.
because I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
What did I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
read?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, And
Yeah,
some
I've
of
done
those-
that heaps.
Yeah, and some of those books, like when you're reading them, it's like since it's been translated and then it's like old like grammar and
You
stuff.
got to sort of really like
You gotta
Yeah, you gotta
think.
pay attention.
Think
Makes you
about it,
fucking
yeah.
Just
think.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
some like one of my favorite. I love books, but like one of my favorite things when I'm feeling like, oh god, this sounds so like
Go on.
stereotypical, is the Bible. Like
Yeah.
if you've ever read like all those, like just everything, just you can really relate. But like it's one of those things you have to like. Sometimes like, whoa, what are they actually? What's the meaning? And then you get the meaning.
Yeah.
Like, well, that's so powerful. It's just written in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I find like most of those like Bible and kind of like a lot of self-help books, but it's like how many metaphors need to hear to like just not be a dickhead?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the whole book's
True.
about like just being good.
Yeah, just
And treating
don't
people
be
how
a
you wanna
cunt.
be treated.
Just don't be a
Yeah.
shit cunt.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
kind of what
yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not reading those
It's
ones.
a simple way to put it.
I'm reading-
but
Yeah, yeah.
Very simple way to put it.
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, literally. But it's good that like people have faith and stuff like that, and then like I feel like as long as being a good person, no matter where that comes from,
Yeah.
it's good. Like
Yeah.
who cares about what religion it is, what
Yeah.
you're doing? It's just
Essentially, they're all the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just got a
being
different
positive.
name. Yeah,
Being
Yeah.
positive.
exactly. And then positive things come to you. And even when negative things come, like, so I recently got tattooed on Friday. And I got tattooed, "Thank you, God."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Wait, are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then my mum messaged me, she's like, "Did you really get that?" And I'm like, "Yes." Because, like, she's like, "Oh, but what about all the bad things that happen?" And I'm like, but even when those bad things happen, there's always a lesson. There's always a message. Like,
Yeah, like
there's
silver
always
lining.
something that
Yeah.
comes out of it. And, like, I'm pretty much, instead of saying #blessed, I'm thanking the man himself.
But every
you know,
good
like-
and bad
Yeah.
moment is what makes who you are today.
And I could only ever be like that because once upon a time I did have that mindset. Oh, but if there was a God, there wouldn't be cancer, and if there was a God, people wouldn't die. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't blame everything on that. Like you have
Yeah.
to see the good.
yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
so,
they can't be good without bad, you know.
so true.
So
Yin and yang.
yeah, exactly.
That's it.
How it happens. yeah.
All right, should we
Sweet.
wrap it?
We'll wrap it up there, hey?
Yeah, I feel like we vibed for ages.
Yeah, that was really good.
Giant.
Feel like it flowed really nicely, and we had some
Yeah.
really cool topics to talk about.
No,
Thank
fucking oath.
you.
See what
I wish I had a
sound
drink
bites
to
I can
cheers
take.
you.
Yeah,
Cheers.
Cheers them with a hot cross bun.
Yeah, literally. From Lumos.
Sweet.
That's all easy.
Wrap it up
Alright.
there.
Thanks,
Indy.
Indy.
No, thank you guys
Cheers.
for having me.
No worries.
Okay.